Don in London, hello. It's March 20th, 2010. Gosh, where does time go? My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my addictive behaviour, anything, work, relationships, materialism, collecting, trying to fill a gap, and the gap inside where I didn't feel quite right about me. And what I never realised about that gap inside when I was a really small person, a child, is we have a gap inside to fill with good things. And for some reason I was always fearful about life. Anxiety was second nature, and I guess we need a certain amount of fear to keep us safe. But when it goes to extremes where we don't feel anything else particularly, and fear overwhelms us of not being good enough, not being right, not being able to participate because we don't understand life, and many things can tip us over into fear. So what did I do? Well, I found something which made me feel more relaxed and convivial, and that was drinking alcohol. And from the first drink, I guess it changed the way I felt. No, I don't guess, I know it changed the way I felt. The gap inside didn't seem so big because my head shrank, or my perceptions shrank, because I was limiting them with alcohol. And as the perceptions shrank, so did fear. So underlying that, of course, were all the other feelings and emotions that a person has. And to an extent they came out, and some sort of conviviality, joy and relaxed feelings came along with it. So enabling, if you like, alcohol, it enabled me to feel my feelings besides fear. So that went on for a long time, maybe up to 35 years. Along the way though, there were genuine times of feeling and expressing what was on my mind and being in some sort of balance, and that's before alcohol became something I was dependent on and then addicted to. So it's not a story of it's not a bad story, it's just a story as per me, as per anybody who might find themselves going from conviviality to dependence and then addiction, a complete reliance, and then totally unable to stop doing something which has become harmful, self-harm run riot, or self-will, willpower driving us to start with, and we take the edge off to relax, and then we suddenly find we're dependent. And whatever the behaviour, and it could have been anything, as I say, work, relationships, it spreads into all of our living in terms of our attitudes and behaviour. So it's quite difficult, having got to a stage of complete addiction where we cannot stop doing something which is harming us and putting our lives in danger, like alcohol or drugs of any nature. And I didn't get that far simply because I think I was too fearful to actually go to that extent. But it was only just around the corner, I suspect, and I did make use of prescription medication to find oblivion when life was as grim as it could be, and I had a nervous breakdown. So we fall into any sort of trap if we're trying to fix ourselves with an external source. If we become dependent, addiction is only an elbow's length away. So what helps me these days? Continue in sobriety, which has been going on for more than one day. Well, it's a one-day program, and family, friends, community I'm part of again, understanding what it's like to love other people, be loved back, and get some sort of proportion back in my usefulness to living, and to be happy as life affords, living life on life's terms. And the overriding and, I suppose, impartial input has been fellowship, a fellowship called AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, who I don't speak for. I am just somebody who goes along there, like anybody else, a unique, authentic person with an overwhelming similarity to everybody else, a desire not to drink on a daily basis. So the purpose of these videos is to share experience, strength and hope, and a bit of literature about really what helps me keep sober, even under adverse or even good conditions, so I don't go to extremes of behaviour for long periods of time. So we can have ecstasy without being fixed, by just being happy with life. living our life experience. So, AA, the fellowship, helps me. Every unique, authentic person in it helps me. From 1 day sober to an hour sober, or 20, 30, 40 years sober in some cases. Wisdom comes from everyone, life experience. So here I share the AA preamble of what it's all about, which is on this little card. And it's a statement of intent about what AA does and what it doesn't do. So here it is. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Hence my videos. So if a person can't get to a meeting, this is like a mini meeting. If you don't know anything about AA, hopefully it just gives you an idea that it could be a good idea to try it out. And you can't be inculcated to the fellowship. As I say, unique, authentic people with their own outlook. We have 12 steps of action to keep us safe on a daily basis, to live to these principles. And in this book, Daily Reflections, it covers all of the 12 steps of action to change our attitude and behaviour, to be more positive about what is, even when it's the worst of circumstances like addiction, and how to get out of it. So March is all about letting go and letting good people share their wisdom and letting the truth in, and for some, God. So whatever your beliefs, it doesn't matter to another person. What matters is what it means to you. And what I've learned is that a power greater than me, noise is off, I've left a window open. A power greater than me, the wind in this case, can make noises off. But it's simply this, a power greater than me, the wisdom that comes from other people. So for March 22nd in this book, 1 page a day, it says here, no more struggle. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. So we come to the idea that we don't have to fight it or battle against it. We just don't have to do it anymore. Drink, that is. Or whatever it might be in terms of substance or behaviour. And it says here, when AA found me, that's Alcoholics Anonymous, I thought I was in for a struggle, and that AA might provide the strength I needed to beat alcohol. Victorious in that fight, who knows what other battles I could win. I would need to be strong though. All my previous experience with life proved that. Today I do not have to struggle or exert my will. If I take those 12 steps and let my higher power do the real work, my alcohol problem disappears all by itself. My living problems also cease to be struggles. I just have to ask whether acceptance or change is required. If it is not my will but his that needs doing, and in his they mean God, or we mean God, and it's your understanding of a higher power. So, for me, my higher power is very simple. Truth, which comes from other people, love, which is what makes the world go round, and the wisdom of others. And that noise you can hear in the background is the empties being thrown out. That's the wine bottles from the Bibendum Michelin restaurant across the road from where I live. It always makes me smile when I hear those. So, what makes it work for me, those things I cannot change, like bottles rattling in the background and the wind, is the serenity prayer about what I can and cannot do. It's around acceptance of now. So, to God or good conscience, as you choose. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the differences just for today. And I need not fight battles. I need just live life.